Welcome to my class. In this particular video session, we will talk about cloud computing, different service levels and classification of cloud models. Part 3. Parties in cloud computing. Cloud computing is one of the latest technologies in the IT industry. It is based on the ideas of service provisioning and tenancy. Service provisioning means there will be certain organizations which will be providing services, and tenancies means that person can hire the services of an IT firm. Those persons, those organizations which shall hire the services, they will be termed as tenants. So it is based on the ideas of service provisioning and tenancy. In cloud computing there are two parties. That is tenant. Tenant is beneficiary or consumer, and the second one is cloud company, that is the service provider. They enter into service level agreements, SLAs, that set to control the tenancy of services between the cloud company and the tenant, that is beneficiary. So the beneficiary and the company will enter into a service level agreement in which they will decide what types of services are being required by the tenants from the service provider and what type of services the service provider shall provide to the tenant. It is the internet-based computing in which everything like hardware, software and platform, it is provided as services on demand. Cloud computing has also been called utility computing or IT on demand. Unlike cluster computing or grid computing, where the emphasis is on computation power to solve complex problems, cloud computing is concerned with the provisioning of services on demand. It is concerned with providing of services whenever it is required by some customers. These services may include providing software application, development tools, or even other infrastructure like hardware for storage of data. Service levels. Generally, there are four main service levels for cloud computing. They are given below. These service layers are as follows. Infrastructure as a service, IaaS. Platform as a service, PaaS. Software as a service, SaaS. And the last one is function as a service, FaaS. These are sometimes called the cloud computing stack because they build on top of one another. Infrastructure as a service, IaaS. IaaS is the most basic category of cloud computing services that allow you to rent IT infrastructure, that is servers, from a cloud provider on a pay-as-you-go basis. It means you can hire the services for servers. Tenant, that is consumers or beneficiary, does not manage or control the underlying cloud infrastructure but has control over operating system, storage and deployed applications. Platform as a service, PaaS. Platform as a service refers to the supply and on-demand environment for developing, testing, delivering and managing software applications. It means if the tenant wants to develop certain software, then he can develop software over the servers of service provider. He can test them and then he can manage those software applications. It is designed to quickly create web or mobile apps without worrying about setting up or managing the underlying infrastructure of server, storage, network and databases needed for development. Software as a service, SaaS. Software as a service is a method for delivering software applications over the internet as per the demand and on a subscription basis. It means we can hire certain software from the service providers. SaaS helps you to host and manage the software application and underlying infrastructure and handle any maintenance, software upgrades and security patching. Function as a service, FaaS. Function as a service adds another layer of abstraction to PaaS so that developers are completely insulated from everything in the stack below their code. Instead of handling the hassle of virtual servers, application runtimes, they upload narrowly functional blocks of code and set them to be triggered by a certain event. Function as a service consume no IaaS resource, infrastructure as a service resources until an event occurs, reducing pay-per-use fees. Now the classification of cloud models. Clouds are categorized into four major types in regard to their deployment models. The first one is public cloud. In this case, whole computing infrastructure is located on the premises of cloud computing company that offers the cloud service. Second is private clouds, hosting all your computing infrastructure yourself and it is not shared. This is a cloud which we can call it private. In this case, all infrastructure is owned by us and it is not shared by anyone else. The security and control level is highest while using a private network. Community clouds. A community cloud is shared between organizations with a common goal or that fit into specific community, that is professional community or geographical community, etc. Hybrid clouds, using both private and public clouds depending on their purpose. You host your most important applications on your own server to keep them more secure and secondary applications somewhere else. Then it's a case of hybrid clouds. What are the areas of applications? Some of the areas of application of cloud computing are: first, banking; second, insurance; third, weather forecasting; fourth, space exploration; and the fifth one is commercial and business uses. By virtualization, we mean the ability of the hardware system to run multiple operating system instances concurrently on the same machine. System virtualization adds a hardware abstraction layer called Virtual Machine Monitor (VMM), which is also termed as hypervisor, on the top of the hardware. Virtualization became a key in cloud computing. Thank you very much.